Welcome back, friends. We are back with another episode in our cheese making series. And today we're doing a soft cheese, a cream cheese. Now remember, last time we did ricotta. Today is a French style cream cheese. We're starting with those softer cheeses, working our way up to the harder cheeses. So this one is literally called French style cream cheese. It is on page 81 of our home cheese making book. So I couldn't necessarily tell you the difference between this style of cream cheese versus probably what you're used to typically from the grocery store. But it does say this version is surprisingly sweet and deliciously creamy. This recipe, in the way it's written in the book here, it makes 1 pound. Now, if you're familiar with those standard size blocks of cream cheese that you can purchase, that is 8 ounces, that is half a pound. So this recipe, as it is written, yields 16 ounces or 2 of those blocks. I am having this recipe. I don't need 2 blocks of cream cheese right now. And the reason is because it will last in the refrigerator for up to a week. Can you freeze it? Maybe. I personally haven't tried, so if you do, I'd love to hear what you think and if it works out when you thaw it. I don't see why you can't. I just haven't done it myself. So I am having it because I only need 1 block of cream cheese to get us through the next week with some breakfast and some other recipes. So that is what I am doing today. So let me read this to you in the way it was written to yield a full pound of cream cheese. You need 2 cups of heavy cream, 2 cups milk, our calcium chloride, our rennet, and a packet of mesophilic starter culture, as well as some salt and maybe some herbs if you'd like as well to mix in later. So I have 1 cup heavy cream that I'm doing, 1 cup milk, still sticking with my starter mesophilic culture. I'm just using half of a packet rather than a full packet. And again, for my rennet and my calcium chloride, I'm dividing that by 2 and having that as well. This recipe is so simple, and you'll see it as we make it. I'm literally doing the same kind of steps I would do before, right? Put the milk in, bring it to a certain temperature, in this case, 86 degrees. Then we're gonna add our calcium chloride. Then we're gonna sprinkle our starter and our rennet, and we're actually gonna let it sit for 24 hours. That really helps the culture distribute through the milk. After 24 hours, we're actually gonna strain it and let it hang in some cheesecloth from anywhere to 6 to 12 hours, depending upon the consistency that I want. And then it's good to go. And then you can mix in some salt, some fresh herbs, and make it however you need to make it. It is really that simple. So we're gonna get everything mixed up and heat it up. So I have milk here and I have heavy cream that I skimmed off of the milk. I'm using raw milk. You are welcome to use pasteurized milk. You just don't want to use the ultra pasteurized, if you remember. So I'm doing 1 cup of each. Bringing it over to the stove, getting it in our pot. I'm going to turn my pot on to medium-high heat. Again, we want to get it to 86 degrees, and we are at 54 right now. So we've got just a little bit to go, but it's not going to take long, so don't walk away. Okay, remember I said stay close because it does not take long to get to the 86 degrees. First thing we're going to do is add our calcium chloride. Now remember, I'm having the recipe, so I did 1/8 of a teaspoon of the calcium chloride in 1/8 of a cup of water. I'll mix that in. And then we're going to add our mesophilic culture. Again, I am adding half of a packet. Otherwise, if you were doing the full recipe, you would add a full packet, and we're gonna let it sit on the top of the milk for just a couple of minutes, maybe a minute, 2 minutes, just to allow the culture to properly rehydrate. All right, we are gonna stir the culture in really well. Next, we're gonna add our rennet. So for the directions within the recipe, it says to add 1 drop of rennet in 2 tablespoons of cool non-chlorinated water. So easily I was able to get 1 tablespoon of non-chlorinated water, and I did as small of a drop as rennet as I possibly could. So we're gonna add that in. You wanna stir it really well for about 30 seconds, back and forth as well as up and down. You want to make sure you're distributing the culture, the rennet, and even the calcium chloride just throughout all of the milk and cream. Now we cover and let sit for 24 hours. So I'm going to take this off of my stove and just go put it somewhere here on my counter. Somewhere where it will not be disturbed by any little hands or anyone else in the kitchen. Curiosity can get the best of my cream cheese. So it's sitting over there. I will literally leave it for 24 hours. It's about noontime. So tomorrow around noon, I'll check it. We're gonna strain our curds. We're gonna let them hang until we get that really nice creamy consistency. How easy is that, right? So I really want you to think about that with cheese making. Cheese making is not difficult. It does take time, as I had said previously, I think in the introduction, but it doesn't take a lot of hands-on time depending upon the recipe. So I'm trying to show you and ease you into recipes that are so fast, so easy, and that you can totally do. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Hey friends, welcome back. It is 11:30, so it's almost 24 hours. I am going to spoon my curds into some clean cheesecloth, and I'm gonna jerry-rig it with a rubber band to my cabinet pole and hang it for about 6 hours or so. We'll come back. I'll let you know how long it's been hanging and what the desired consistency is that I'm going for. But let me show you what it is, and while we start spooning the curds. You can see, oh my gosh, do you see that? I don't know if you can see that at all. There's like a whiter, that's the milk, and then there's the cream that's risen. It's like the layers. You can tell the rennet has done its job because it's nice and firm, almost like a pudding. It smells really good. It does not, it smells like cottage cheese, or excuse me, cream cheese. And it does smell kind of sweet. So I'm just tying a rubber band around the cheesecloth. And then I just put the rubber band on the pull. Make sure you have a bowl underneath it to catch the drips. Oh, it smells really good actually. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna let this sit, like I said, and just hang here and get as much of the way out as possible and come to that really great texture that we're looking for. I'll come back and let you know how many hours. The recipe says anywhere from 6 to 12. So once I feel like I'm at the desired texture I want, I'll come back and let you know. Hey friends, we're back with our cheese here. I wanted to show you, I just took it off the hook. It's really a good kind of, it's not rock hard, right? But a much firmer cheese. I'm gonna take this out of the cheesecloth and we're gonna add some sea salt. Mix it up and try it. I let it hang for about 7 hours and no real reason for that other than it just felt like it was as a good firmness and it wasn't really dripping any more whey. Oh look, you can still kind of see that color variation here. So I'm just gonna very carefully put all of the cheese back into my glass container. Make sure that when you are washing your cheesecloth, I don't know if I've talked about this at all yet, but make sure that when you're washing this, you're first rinsing it out in the sink with hot soapy water, and then I run it through my laundry. And just to make sure that you are not leaving any type of cultures or anything right in your cloth, because when you go to make another cheese with this again, you don't want to contaminate it. You guys know I'm a huge fan of Redmond real salt. I'm just going to add about a half a teaspoon and mix that in. Now this would be also a really good place to mix in some either fresh or dried herbs like dill, oregano, parsley. You could even make it like more of a savory type of cream cheese too, and add some garlic and onion finely chopped. I'm just going to leave it with the salt today because I'm not entirely sure what we'll use this for, but I don't want to cover it up with too many other flavors just yet because I want to try it just like this. So if I wanted it more spreadable, you can see as I'm going through this, right? It's certainly soft, but it's not maybe as spreadable as it could be for certain types of uses. So if I wanted it more spreadable, I probably would have just gone less than 7 hours, maybe 4 or 5. So now the true test. It's really good. Whenever I do this, I feel like I always have the same reaction, but it is really good. Yeah. It tastes like cream cheese. Now it does not taste like the commercially made store-bought cream cheese. It tastes much richer. There's a little tang from the culture, but it's so good. You know what this would be really good on? Is a sourdough pumpkin cinnamon roll. I think I might need to make some because this would be so good on that. Thank you for joining me on our cream cheese journey here in our cheese making series. I hope that I've inspired you to try to make your own cream cheese. Again, a lot easier than you may think. I'm just gonna go ahead and eat some more. And I will see you next time. Stay healthy, stay well. Bye-bye.